am a change maker.
I'm a change maker.
I am a change maker.
I am a change maker.
I am a change maker.
I use my voice and skills in raising awareness on social issues.
I am determined to protect the health of girls and women.
I commit to leading in community engagement.
I am changing the lives of indigenous women and girls in my community.
I would like to make an impact on gender equality and climate change.
I am working to accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals.
We want to create voices for the marginalized communities.
I use my platform as a journalist to keep both public and private institutions accountable.
I help many journalists and other human rights defenders to stay connected online.
I am working for capacity building of journalists to write and report.
I believe in empowering individuals to take climate action.
If no one ever tries to change things simply are never going to change.
I am a change maker.
I'm a change maker.
I am a change maker.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kavita Chandran. I'm a journalism trainer with the Thomson Reuters Foundation. I've had the pleasure to run the Changemakers Programme for both journalists and media advocates this year. It's a program that brings together people that are developing solutions to pressing human rights issues. During the program, we discussed various possible solutions to world problems and also brought in guest speakers from all walks of life who are change makers themselves. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce you to 4 participants from the Changemakers Programme who were chosen because of their relentless desire and conviction that they can and must do their bit to change this world for the better. In alphabetical order, I would like you to meet Bouba Aeisatu from Cameroun, Executive Director, Cameroun Indigenous Women's Forum, FFAC. Bouba is an activist for the rights of the women belonging to the indigenous Ambororo pastoralist community in Central Africa. A survivor of child marriage herself, Bouba is currently a senior social welfare officer at the National Institute of Social Welfare in Yaoundé, and one of the first few educated Ambororo women in leadership. Bouba, in her capacity as the Executive Director of the Cameroun Indigenous Women's Forum, leads the fight against the marginalization and discrimination of Indigenous women who suffer from harmful traditional and cultural practices, such as early and forced marriages, as well as some unwritten rules around women's rights and protection. It is my pleasure to welcome Bouba here. Welcome, Bouba. Next, I would like you to meet Damar Juniarto from Bali, Indonesia. For the last 8 years, Damar has been working to promote and to defend digital rights through SAFEnet, the Southeast Asia Freedom of Expression Network. Damar has been an advisor for Digital Reach Asia, an organization that looks into the impact of technology on human rights in Southeast Asia. And he also actively is involved in a regional coalition to stop dictatorship digitally. Damar strongly believes in an online space that upholds human rights, and he is on a mission to defend people in Asia against those who violate digital rights. We'll hear more from him on that soon. Welcome to the Trust Conference, Damar. Next, I would like you to meet Joydeep Dasgupta, a media professional from India. After nearly 20 years in journalism, where he worked as a reporter, an editor, defense journalist, television producer, and a media trainer, Joydeep started his own news website called News Sense, with a motto to provide news that makes sense. An entrepreneur, a columnist, trainer, documentary maker, and fact checker who's out to debunk fake news, Joydeep has won various awards in journalism, communication, as well as animation. And he now works with an army of youngsters in a country that is rife with strife, pointing them towards positive news and solutions journalism. Welcome to the Trust Conference, Joydeep. And I would finally like to welcome Imani Henrick, a journalist as well as advocate from Njombe, Tanzania. Imani, a former TV presenter who's now working with King's FM Radio as a program director and journalist, is also an advocate for human rights and internet freedom. During the 2020 elections in Tanzania, Imani played a big role in #KeepItOn. We've been hearing about it earlier today as well, a movement aimed at fighting internet shutdowns and educating people about online information. A winner of many awards, including the African winner of the Youth Peace Challenge organized by the Korean government. Imani is involved in educating young girls on self-awareness and menstrual hygiene, and is also working on empowering women when it comes to digital security. Welcome to the Trust Conference, Imani. Such a pleasure to have you here. Imani, let me start with you. Your work with young women is so inspiring, especially around digital security and technology. You have mentioned earlier to all of us that women are less engaged online in Tanzania compared to men. How have you been involved in bringing them online, Imani?
Yeah, it's really women are less using and participating online in Tanzania compared to men. And according to data from Global System for Mobile Communication, GSMA of 2019, in Tanzania, 86% of adult men and 75% of adult women are owning mobile phone. But this makes a gender gap of 11%. However, 35% of adult men have access to mobile internet, while only 17% of adult women can access internet, and this making a gender gap of 52%. So that what I've been doing to bring women online. First of all, we do trainings for women and on opportunities that are present online. How can they participate online, and how can they be decent citizens, digital citizens online? But also we teach them about branding online, because currently we see many businesses are running online. So we teach women on how to brand their business pages online, like on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms. How can they put their commodities that are selling online? But also as media, we do documentaries, we do stories that shows that pioneers, the most successful women who are working online, so that to inspire those who have been who do not believe on using internet and online platforms to make money, to brand themselves, to network, and to socialize. And what makes them not engage online is that cyberbullying issues. Most of women, when are posting pictures, when are doing different things online, people comes and bullying them online. So this makes them being ahead, that they feel like digital space is there just for bullying people. But also they lack, because of expensivity of digital gadgets, they just fail to afford the smartphones and computers and other devices that can make them engage and participate online. But also traditional beliefs. Most of men in Tanzania, in African traditions, always man is head of the family. So they just restricted their women to participate online, using phones, posting, and just enjoy their right to get informed, to get engaged on business issues. So that's the reasons, and that's what have been done by me and my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Imani. Of course, you also have, been instrumental in the hashtag Keep It On movement last year during the elections. So I'm just going to bring that to Damar's side by asking Damar about digital authoritarianism. Damar, I know digital security is, of course, at the helm of what all you do. You also fight against repression and digital authoritarianism. You had a significant win, Damar, last year when the Jakarta Administrative Court ruled against an internet shutdown that was implemented by the Indonesian government. Can you tell us more about that, Damar?
Yeah, last year, SAFEnet won a big case. This case was a battle against state information control in the form of bandwidth throttling and internet shutdown in West Papua. For those of you who didn't know Papua, Papua is in the eastern part of Indonesia, which has long been known as a conflict area in Indonesia. So the government usually used security approaches to control the region, but later they were adding technological operation to control online information. For more than 3 months, starting in August until October 2019, more than 500,000 of internet users in West Papua couldn't use the internet. Many students couldn't access education since they couldn't access the online registration. People who sick have no access to health insurance. Journalists and media couldn't do their job to fact check rumors and hoaxes. So they live in a pitch black with no internet and communication. So this is later we know during the litigation process that this action to cut internet access actually have no legal basis and not showing a good governance of internet. Thus, the judges find it unlawful. I found out that internet shutdown together with existing online censorship and cyber surveillance become the key ingredients of the rise of digital authoritarianism in Southeast Asia, like what happening now in Myanmar and Indonesia. So this digital authoritarianism, the use of digital technology by the authoritarian regime to surveil, repress, and manipulate foreign and domestic population become the real threat to democracy. That's why I keep on advocating digital rights and still doing a lot of efforts to push back digital authoritarianism in this region. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Damar, and good luck for everything that you do. Joydeep, my next question is to you. Digital media and fact checking, as you've mentioned, is a very important part of what you do. Tell us more about what you do in the field in a country where the spread of misinformation and disinformation is very, very concerning.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak in front of the August gathering. Coming to your question, fake news, as we all know, is deeply linked to internet and the information technology. We are growing digitally, no doubt, but at the same time, we are falling prey to the fake news too. We at News Sense have been working as one of the prominent fake news debunking websites in India, apart from publishing stories with a solution-based approach. In the last 1.5 years during the ongoing pandemic caused by coronavirus, we have debunked more than 500 stories on medical misinformation, giving clarity to the people about vaccine, cure, and the virus. As the world's largest democracy with the second largest population, the issue of fake news poses a unique threat to India. So it is very much important to alert and make people aware of how to consume information which they come across every day on the internet, mainly through social media. Thus, I am also trying to reach out to people in our society, men, women, children, and senior citizens, from educational institutes, non-government organizations, police, corporates, politicians, to the people at the grassroots level in India, with the tools and techniques to help them develop critical thinking skills. I'm associated with Google News Initiative India Training Network and BBC Young Reporter India program as trainer, which supports all these trainings. This way I'm trying to reach, and my role, I'm trying to play my role in giving the clarity to the people in a small but in a significant way.
Thank you so much, Joydeep. My next question is to Bouba. Bouba, who's despite all the adversity you've gone through, has managed to pursue her education. Bouba, you have a master's degree in public law. You are a role model for many women in the Ambororo community in Cameroun. How were you able to overcome obstacles, Bouba, that surround certain traditions and cultures, and you were able to persevere to get a high-level education that you did?
Thank you, Kavita, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Good afternoon to everyone. What we have to know is that harmful cultural and traditional practices has a very big weight within my community. The reason why indigenous Bororo pastoralist women and girls are double marginalized and discriminated upon. My late father helped me to manage to escape from being a child bride at the age of 13. And after succeeding in my education, I decided to go back to my community to rescue young girls from being forced into child marriage. my strategy to approaching traditional and religious leaders by making them to understand the negative consequences of child marriage. And today they are leading campaigns in their respective community to crusade against harmful cultural practices and support the education of the girl child. And we have also bring on board men and boys to educate them about gender issues and the harmful cultural practices that prevent women from enjoying their fundamental human rights. And today we are happy that they are the ones that talk to these women, to these girls. They are the ones to invite these women to come on the table and attend some of our meetings. And they are the one also to preach against forcing their young girls to get into early and forced marriages. And I think today, gradually, these harmful cultural practices is getting to the past, thanks to the work that we have been doing to sensitize the community on these harmful practices. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bouba. And kudos to your work. I'm sure there are lots of applause coming from the virtual community over here. Damar, I just want to ask you about the work that you do in terms of helping women digitally. There's a lot of digital violence among women in some communities in Southeast Asia. How are you and SAFEnet working on resolving issues around digital violence, which I'm sure has gotten worse now with COVID, Damar?
Yeah, Kavita, of the region population of 589 million, the number of internet users in Southeast Asia is 440 million people, or 75% already online. Please note that more than 202.6 million resides in Indonesia. So this during COVID-19, like anywhere in the world, here in Southeast Asia, people depend more on the digital platform. And we found out that the number of internet users is also followed by the rise of online violence towards women and girls in Southeast Asia. So according to 2018 survey by the Malaysian Center for Constitutionalism and Human Rights, 50.4% of the respondents has experienced one form of online harassment at least once in their life, with women experiencing online sexual harassment at least twice as often as men. In Indonesia, during this pandemic, the number of online gender-based violence cases spiked over 1,000% than previous year, or around 8,000 cases. And this is not the total number of digital attacks in Indonesia. If we look at the SAFEnet record from last year, we found out also 147 incidents of digital attacks towards at-risk communities. So what we want and what we do to tackle this worrying situation, SAFEnet take the initiative to build a fast response team to reduce harm and violence. And also we start educate communities on digital securities. Right now, more than 2,000 at-risk groups attend our trainings. And recently we set up an online learning platform. For human rights defenders, they can visit digsec.safenet.org. And also for women and girls, they can visit awaskbgo.id to download learning materials and to report their cases to us. Thank you, Kavita.
Thank you, Damar. Very shocking numbers indeed. Imani, digital inclusion, it's very close to your heart too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And this is because my passion and my spirit is to see everyone is enjoying digital rights as it is fundamental right as other rights. So with this, that's why we run a Keep It On campaign to emphasize the government to keep the internet on during the election in 2020 election in Tanzania, because this is a sensitive period that everyone needs information, everyone needs to hear from the government, everyone needs to hear from the political parties, everyone needs to hear their coming leaders, what are their plans to their constituents and places. So We wanted everyone, the flow of information to be smooth during that sensitive period. But also, I really need to see everyone is enjoying digital rights, young girls, women, youth, elders, everyone, as we see currently, even in the international days, most of themes are including digital rights. Everyone is preaching on that because that's where the globe is going. So seeing everyone is enjoying their digital rights, is participating online positively, is enjoying the potential and opportunities that are present online, it's really bringing people together. It's really letting people get an opportunities to learn, to network, and also to grab opportunities. As we know, currently there is a big problem of youth getting employment, but internet has been the source of employment for them. They can do business, they can network, they can share ideas, they can have conversation on how to make the globe a very safe space. But also young girls, as I mentioned earlier, that I'm working to train them on menstrual hygiene, self-awareness. We can have platforms for them because currently we see the problem, children are accessing the content which are not friendly for them. They're accessing maybe nudes, but if we can have a safe space for them where they can learn about menstrual hygiene, self-awareness, opportunities, how they can network and do business online, we can have a very good digital generation that will be positively impacting the globe. Thank you.
All power to you, girl. You go, girl. I love that passion. Thank you, Imani. Speaking of passion, Bouba, I think passion comes across so evidently in your work too. What keeps you going, Bouba? What fills you with great pride?
Thank you, Kavita. I think I'm so proud of the achievement that we have made so far. I have rescued 1,200 girls as child brides and helped them to speak up for themselves by saying no to child marriage and yes to education. I have succeeded to build alliances with traditional and religious leaders to end child marriage, and also supported 100 survivors of gender-based violence by helping them build their own businesses. I am so proud because many look up to me as their role model and a source of inspiration. I remember one parent in a meeting said, if all girls were like Aeisatu, I will send all my girls to school. We want to do more, but lack the resources to reach out to wider remote communities. The reason why we are appealing to all stakeholders to mobilize resources and channel them to women grassroots organizations so that they will continue to work to help eradicate completely child marriage and gender-based violence through giving the chance to 12 million of girls around the world who would have been forced into child marriage before they turn their 18th birthday. I wish to say here that if we do not end child marriage by 2030, we are not going to achieve the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, the commitments we all took in 2015. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Bouba, may all girls be like you. Thank you very much. Speaking of what is close to everyone's heart, Joydeep, something very close to your heart is solutions journalism, as it is to mine. And just before you speak, and for those in the audience who may not be familiar with this term, a solutions-based approach to writing a story involves investigating a solution, just as you would investigate a problem. So the only difference is that instead of harping on the same problem in your stories, we teach journalists that you have to talk and investigate the solution and make people accountable for those solutions. And this is all because there's news fatigue setting in. Lots of negative news, bad news around there. COVID certainly didn't help. So giving more rise to hope than helplessness. Joydeep, please share what makes you believe that as an editor, this is the best way to combat news fatigue.
Yes, it is the positivity and feel-good factors that motivates me to follow a solutions-based approach in my journalism practice. Solution journalism not just highlights problem, but also suggests solutions to the problem. It gives voice to the voiceless. It gives a positive hope to both the writer as well as the reader. It is good for both our physical as well as mental well-being. Then why not practice such a beautiful way of doing journalism? Apart from practicing solution journalism in news sense, I am also trying to create an ecosystem of solutions journalism in India with a team of media students. I am training them how to report and how to cultivate a sensitive story, which we regularly and carefully publish on News Sense, which is a solution-based digital media initiative, and it's a non-profit platform wherein my students volunteer in the key role as reporter, editor, sub-editor, video editor, photographer, under my observation and my guidance.
That's great, Joydeep. There's so much that you guys do. So I'm curious about the impact of the Thomson Reuters Foundation Changemakers Programme and what the impact it has had on you. What further changes do you all see yourself incorporating in your work from here on? I'm very curious to hear. Bouba, would you like to go first?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it has been an opportunity for me to be a change maker. And I'm thanking the Trust Conference for this opportunity, because the training that I have had for the past month, it has really empowered me. And I think this training is going to help me to do my work in a more better experienced way, so that I will be continue to communicate on issues affecting indigenous women and girls. I'm so grateful about this training. I've really built my capacity, and I think I'm going to do more in the field. Thank you.
Thank you, Bouba. Damar, what do you say?
Yeah, this Changemaker program definitely has a big impact on me. I have new friends, learn new things, listen to new experiences, study to new approaches. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Thomson Reuters Foundation, and thank you, Trust Conference. My next plan, Kavita, I want to leverage the education platform for the digital security, not only for Southeast Asia, because the problems of digital tech is around the globe. The problems of online gender-based violence is not only in Southeast Asia. So to exchange the experience, to exchange materials to other countries, to other part of the globe, in Africa to South Asia, is one of my next big plan. Thank you.
Wow. Good luck with that, Damar. What about you, Joydeep?
Yes, after attending this Changemaker program, I got more clarity in my approach of working. Apart from collaboration opportunities, I have made a good number of friends across the world who are equally talented and are doing extraordinary work in their respective fields. And together we can ensure to make this world a beautiful place to live on, I believe. Special topics such as solution journalism and digital media has expanded my horizon of understanding. Mentors like Kavita and Sid are now guide forever. Now, with the new title, Changemaker, which calls for a greater commitment towards our works and society, I would like to bring in the changes in terms of the quality story we publish, and at the same time working with the people in different segments of the society. I am also thankful to the Thomson Reuters Foundation for acknowledging our efforts and giving us such a platform like Trust Conference to reach out to the greater audience with our work. I think hopefully in future, I will get a lot more of support from you people, more collaboration, so that we can get encouraged, and with conviction, with firm conviction, we can do the good work that we are trying to do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck, Joydeep, and thank you for the kind words. All power to you guys. Imani, what are you up to now?
Yeah, I'm so excited. It has been a very great experience ever, learning, networking, getting new friends, you know, as a journalist, getting new sources of our stories. I was very excited with the training on solution journalism. And from there, I really got a story idea and I did it. And I have already published it. I'm so glad. I published a story about how people with HIV and their beliefs on corona vaccine. It was very interesting story. I have also done a story on digital inclusion to people with disability. I've published one, and I'm still working with my colleagues, Emil Destin, with the same kind of story, how people with disabilities, specifically blindness, the people with blindness, how can they be included online? So I really thank Thomson Reuters for this opportunity. It has been a very great opportunity. I've met a lot of people, a lot of friends. It has been a very great journey, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Imani, for those lovely words. With that, we come to the end of this wonderful session. It's been my privilege to be in conversation with these amazing 4 people who, like all the other change makers in the program this year, are people who not only have many ideas for solutions to world problems, but also keep trying until they see a difference. Kudos to everybody. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.